Hey guys, it's Lauren from Granite State Yarns. I'm coming to you from the great state of New Hampshire, and this is episode, I am not sure, but I'm going to put it right here, of the Granite State Yarns podcast. So it's been a little bit of time since I last podcast, but I'm going to update you with some of the projects that I have just recently finished up, some things that I'm working on right now, some stuff that I am hoping to work on soon, and some shop updates and anything else that I can remember to discuss. So you can find me at my website, www.granitestateyarns.com. I sell sock yarn in fingering weight and DK. I have some mystery sock clubs as well. The signups for those go until the 15th of every month, so there is still a little bit of time if you'd like to sign up for next month's yarn. I'm getting ready to start dyeing those. Actually, I have a sneak peek available for next month's colorways available on Instagram, so if you wanted to take a look at that, you could look at my Instagram. My handle there is at Granite State Yarns. And I have the color palettes that I'm going to be working on for each of the 4 clubs. I have a monthly yarn club, which is an anything goes kind of a thing. I have a Christmas socks club, which is a Christmas and winter theme. I have the Ora et Labora club, which is Catholic, and we usually do saints or the liturgical year or other things like that. And then lastly, I have the Aesthetic Club, which is usually a little bit of a toned down kind of dye style than what I usually do. So you'll see a lot of tonals in that one, as well as some very lightly variegated colorways. So that would be great if you would like something that you can do some color work with, or just want some, slightly subtle socks that are still fun and interesting. Believe me, these are still not boring. They are it's actually quickly becoming one of my favorite clubs. I'm really enjoying it. It's a little bit of a challenge to learn how to dye that way. I generally like lots of bright colors, but working on these tonals has been really fun, and I'm really looking forward to next month's palette especially. So I think that is all of the updating that I need to do. Like I said, it's been a while. I'm a little out of practice, so hopefully I have what I need. If you hear any random noises going on, I do have some children that I have scooted out of the living room, and they're in the kitchen over there and playing with some toys. So hopefully they will be quiet. We will see how it goes. If you hear a little bit of noise, welcome to my life. So why don't we start with some finished objects. I am currently wearing one of my finished objects. I finished this one, I think, a couple of months ago. This is the Winter Lights shawl by Stephen West, and I knit it in my own yarn. This is the Jingle Bell Junction mystery Christmas box that I had done for Advent this year. And it came with 4 different colorways. We had 3 tonals and a multicolored speckly skein as well. And I used all 4 of those in this fingering weight shawl. I will take it off. It is nice and big. Messed up my hair. Yeah, it is really nice and big, but still fingering weight, so it's not like super heavy, but just, let's see if I can get it here. Yeah, it looks like you can see it quite well. As intricate as this is, it really was not that difficult to knit. It has like 3 main sections, and this top section here had a lot of slip stitching, so like a mosaic knitting, and it looks so complicated, but it really was not difficult at all to do. At no point are you ever holding more than 1 yarn for each row, so you can still get to do these really cool patterns. It's not, see if I can get that. There we go. Now it's focused on the show. Oh no, I think it's focusing on my face again. Hopefully this is coming out okay. And then there is a nice honeycomb section here. And then these really cool waves on the bottom, which almost, they almost look crocheted. They kind of remind me of like, those wavy crochet blankets. And yeah, it's got like, I don't know, 700 stitches on the end. So it did take quite a while to finish the bottom here. I did do an I-cord bind off for the bottom, and I used a Cordsmith and that did make it go a lot faster. So I don't have any cord smiths in my shop, but I will link down below to a place or a couple of places where you can find them. If you like doing I-cord bind-offs but don't like how long it takes, it does make a big difference. It still took me, I think, 2 hours to do the bind-off here, but that was still a lot better and a lot less fidgety. It was a little tricky at first to kind of get the rhythm going, but once I got the rhythm going, it went by so fast. So I have worn this quite a few times already. It is nice and warm, and I love it. So I'm just gonna wear it on the back like this, but sometimes I wear it along the front and just kind of like roll it up, but I don't want it to hit my microphone. So I'm gonna do this for now. And it is just really nice, especially if, you know, we got like a short sleeve dress on like I do right now, and you just want to be a little bit warmer, but not too bulky. It's perfect. So highly recommend this shawl. It was a lot of fun. And I entered it into the, there goes some dominoes. Anyway, I entered this into the Adventually make along with Breaking Yarn and Leah Loves to Knit on Instagram. I think it's still going. I hope it is now that I'm mentioning it, but it's like, you know, using your Advent project and you have a little bit of extra time to be able to get it finished. And this is one of my Advent projects that I did. I actually do have another one. I don't have it with me right now. It's upstairs in my bedroom, and my baby is currently taking a nap and I don't want to wake her up. So maybe I'll show that one next time. So my next finished object is my Corey in Poncho. I knit this in like, I think it was a week. Went very, very quickly. This pattern is super simple. It's kind of like, I don't know, it reminds me of almost like a Musselburgh hat. It's, you know, really similar in the increases, and just that same sort of really easy, almost mindless knitting. You do have to pay attention to where the increases are, but other than that, it's like all stockinette and some really simple knit 2, purl 2 ribbing. So very, very easy. So let me back up here. It's got this is the back. It's got this very nice neckline here. This is the front. You can see that the front's a little bit shorter, and then the back has some short rows to just make it fit better on the back, and it makes this nice like V shape. I did knit it a little bit shorter. I don't like turtlenecks. I think it was supposed to be 3 inches, and I only did 2 inches before I started this V on the back, and it's perfect for me. I'll try putting it up if it makes noise on the microphone. Sorry about that. But again, it's nice and, you know, warm enough for my neck without it feeling like there's too much there. So again, really simple, nice and big. Honestly, my gauge I think was a little bit off. I didn't do a gauge swatch because it's a poncho. I had plenty of yarn. I wasn't worried about it. So it did come out a little bit longer than the pattern called for. I probably could have stopped knitting. I probably could have stopped. You okay there, Stelly? We had a slip. I think she's okay though. Yeah, I probably could have stopped knitting shorter. It wouldn't, you know, earlier. It wouldn't have been difficult to do that. But I did knit it to pattern, and after it blocked and everything, it's like, I think 4 or 5 inches deeper than it would be ordinarily. So maybe it's a little bit longer. It's fine, wider too, because obviously you're increasing. But it really fits well. I'll add a picture here of me wearing it. It's nice and warm. I wore it actually to church a couple weeks ago. It was very cold that day. I want to say it was like about 0, maybe even been a little bit below 0 when we left. So I wore a dress with the poncho on top, and then I actually wore the shawl on over that, and that kept me nice and warm. Inside, anyway, like almost too warm inside. At least then it was really easy to just take the shawl off if I got too toasty. And then I did wear it for a walk later that day. I think it was that day. Maybe it was another day. By then it was probably like, no, I think it was a different day because it was maybe 25, 30 degrees outside. And I just wore a long sleeve shirt with I think I had yeah, I think it was just that with the poncho. And I was in gloves and a hat. And I was a little bit chilly for the walk. Honestly, I probably just needed another layer and I would have been totally fine. But I really wanted to I was enjoying wearing the poncho and I wanted to go for a walk with my poncho on. But, that's a pretty extreme example to be out in like 30-degree weather or whatever it was. And it was kind of breezy and just damp out. And just that was the kind of cold that just kind of like went right through you. But it could be warm enough. I was fine. My fingers were, even with the gloves though, I was definitely a little bit cold. It took me a while to like warm up. Does anyone else get that? Like go out for a walk and my body is perfectly fine. I don't feel cold anymore, but like just the stiffness in my hands. It must be from all the knitting too. And I don't know, turning 42, maybe I've got like arthritis going. I don't know. So there's my poncho, the Corey Inn poncho. That, like I said, would recommend it. I knit this one in Knit Picks palette. I held it double because this is a DK weight pattern. And palette is fingering weight, so I held the fingering weight double to get DK, which is one of my favorite tricks because I love fingering weight yarn and I like the versatility of being able to use my yarn for a fingering weight project or a DK project. And I suppose you could hold it triple, quadruple if you wanted to. But I have been doing palette held double a little bit lately and it's working out great. I knit a cardigan a few months ago and that was the first time I had tried that and it worked out wonderfully because palette has such a huge selection of colors. It's really nice to have all of those options of colors in wool, 100% wool, but to be able to kind of make it work in different yarn weights. So this is the green tea heather color, and it's just really, really pretty green, light green color. I really like it. Okay, so I have 3 works in progress to show you right now. I'm going to start off with a pair of socks. And this is here we go. If you can see, these are sparkly. Can I get this? There it goes. This is Kirby Werby yarns, and it's just not, there we go. It's just not wanting to focus. This is Kirby Werby yarns in the colorway Frozen Farmer's Hiney, which I will explain in a moment. And it also has it came with a contrasting color that I'm using for the heel here. And this is Samantha. Again, it's not, there it goes. Focus. Really pretty purple, sparkly, tonal. And now, if I remember correctly, it is Frozen Farmer's Hiney because the dyer behind Kirby Werby misheard the lyrics of one of the songs in Frozen 2, and she thought that they were singing Frozen Farmer's Hiney. And I'm not sure what the actual lyrics are, despite the fact that I have heard the song 100 times because I have small children that love this movie. But it's at the beginning of the movie. Frozen Farmer's Hiney. I don't know. It's a frozen heart worth saving, maybe is what it is. Anyway, that's where the name of the colorway came from. And so my husband bought me this yarn for my birthday this year, which was really sweet of him. And I've got the second sock right here. I'm like, oh, almost time to start the heel. I started these on my birthday, which was January 19th. So I guess it's been like maybe 3 weeks that I've been working on these. I am not following a specific pattern. You will see though that I have some broken rib that I am doing along the front. Let me get this to focus. There it goes. And I'm just kind of doing them in some columns. I did this one on the top and only up through the leg, and then started the other one partway through the leg. I don't know. I'm just kind of playing around with doing something other than just like a plain old vanilla sock in the striped sock. And I'm just repeating the same thing on this one. So this is a really, I don't know, it's a kind of a colorway that I don't think I would have initially been gravitating towards. I mean, blues and oranges look really nice together, but I don't know. I almost was like kind of surprised when he gave it to me because it wasn't like, it didn't scream me. But as I started knitting it, I really, really like the combination. It's just really fun. And you can't beat it with the sparkle. Like, that's super fun. And I mean, it's got a nice purple contrasting color too. So you know that I love purple. So yeah, hopefully we'll get these done. I have not been knitting very many socks lately, honestly. I do have a couple of other sock projects that are like long in hibernation. Hopefully I will finish them at some point. I just have not been like feeling the sock knitting, which is crazy because I usually knit a ton of socks. I've been doing a lot more shawls and sweaters and projects for the kids, some blankets, you know, things like that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm sure that the sock bug will hit me again, but we have a lot of socks in the house, so I haven't really needed to knit them so much. So it's been kind of fun to work on some other things and kind of expand my knitting horizons a little bit. But I am really enjoying this pair, and I am looking forward to having them all finished, and that'll be very nice. I have these in a bag by Midwest Stitches. Actually, I think, yep, all three of my works in progress are in Midwest Stitches bags. But this is a beautiful little Christmas bag that I got from her a couple of years ago. Midwest Stitches, Danielle, is not currently making bags anymore, which is very sad. So I will treasure my project bags because they are among my favorite. Definitely the most bags that I have are from Midwest Stitches. So, but the ones that I have are lovely, and I'm very glad to have them. All right, my second work in progress is a test knit, so I'm not going to give out too many details about it. I have the sweater finished. It's a child size sweater, and I am knitting this in Barocco yarn, DK weight. Again, I'll save like the biggest details for it until the pattern gets released. So if you want to get the most up-to-date information, follow me on Instagram, because that is where I post most regularly and do keep everybody up to date with what I'm working on. Hopefully I will get another podcast recorded soon, but given my track record, I can't promise you that. So at least for now, I can give you a sneak peek of this. The knitting is all done. It's been blocked I really just did a quick block. It actually looks a little bit wrinkled. And I still have to put the buttons on, but I do have both. This is the side with the buttonholes. It's this really cute little sweater. And you'll notice on the top that there's this green line because I'm going to be doing some duplicate stitching to add a nice little detail to the top of it. So this is going to be going to one of my daughters, Philomena. She is very excited. It is a size too big for her, which is totally okay. I'm planning on, you know, if she wears it this winter, we'll just roll up the sleeve cuffs a little bit and she'll get all next year to wear it, definitely. So I'm totally okay with that. The pattern itself is wonderful. I highly recommend it when it does come out. Like I said, I'll be able to give you all that information soon, but this is such a cute little sweater, and it's really, really, really simple. I haven't done the duplicate stitch yet. I hear that might be a little time consuming, but it shouldn't be difficult. So I can't wait to get it done. I really need to finish it up. I think I have until maybe next week or the week after to get that finished. So that's my plan, to get this done. Hopefully by this weekend. We'll see. We have a storm coming, so Thomas, buddy, shh. So I'll definitely have some time to work on that this weekend. Maybe I'll get it done in time or before that. We'll see. I have a couple of other works in progress that have kind of gotten my most of my interest the last few days. So I do have to like put those down to finish this one up. And we'll start talking about those now. How about I'll talk about the vest that I'm working on. This is actually, yeah, okay. So this is in my giant bag that I got from Midwest Stitches this Christmas. This is like a blanket-sized bag, which I'm using for this project because I have a ton of yarn. As you can see, I think this is definitely more yarn than I'm going to need. I actually bought this yarn for a different project. It was a shawl project that I started that had a lot of cabling in it. And while I like cabling, the cables were quite a bit more complicated than I really had the brain space for. And I knew that I just I wasn't enjoying the process. I like cables, as you will see, because this is a cable vest. But it was just it was too complicated, and it just wasn't what I needed at the time. So I ended up frogging that, and I'm using the yarn for this vest. This is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Sport Weight, and it is the color, where is it? Mink Heather, and it's 100% Highland wool, and I love Wool of the Andes. This is not the first project that I've knit in this yarn. It will not be the last project that I knit in this yarn. So this is a vest for my husband, and I started it the other day. And like I said, this has just been my obsession the last little while. It looks tiny. My husband is not this small. It just, because of the ribbing, it is just very stretchy right now. It's still rather small on a, there we go, you can kind of get a better idea, but it's you know, on these 32-inch needles, so I can't stretch it out too much here. But I was checking it yesterday, and I'm pretty sure it's going to fit him perfectly. It is okay. So this is the Houth vest. I think that's how you pronounce it. But I'm like using that as my basis for this project, because the Houth vest is for, I think it's for fingering weight yarn. I'm honestly not sure. And the designer calls for a size 6 needle. And then the gauge was, I think, 28 stitches per 4 inches, which I don't know how tight you would have to knit on a size 6 needle, which is fine. Ordinarily, I have to go down a needle size or two in almost all projects because I am a very loose knitter. But I got down to a size 2 needle. So again, pattern called for a size 6. I got down to a size 2, and it still was not going, it was still, I still had too many stitches per inch or per 4 inches than the, whoa, careful, than the pattern called for. So if I went down any smaller, then I wouldn't be able to get smaller needles to be able to do the ribbing, because you do the ribbing in a needle size 2 sizes smaller. So the smallest needles I have are size 0s. So I figured, okay, I'm going to just stick with the size 2 needles and the size 0s, and I'll just adjust the pattern for the slightly, you know, with the different gauge. Instead of doing a medium size, I'll do a small size. It'll be fine. And that, I did the math out based on my gauge. It was going to be totally fine. But then looking at the pattern for the cabling, it's really nice. But I was reading reviews, and people were saying that the schematic for the cables wasn't written right, and you'd have to, like, I think it was like the left leaning cables or really right leaning cables, whatever. I ended up deciding that, hey, I've already gone this far. I'm going to pick a whatever cable pattern that I want to knit. I'm going to grab one of my stitch dictionaries, and I'm going to make it work, because it's a vest. Like, it's, you know, a rectangle, and then you have to do some shaping for the armholes. The Houth vest does a steek, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll try the steeking. And then I'm reading the reviews for it, and people are saying that the steeking was way more complicated than just, you know, knitting flat. So I'm like, maybe I won't do the steeking after all. So anyway, I'm going to use the Health Vest pattern as like, I don't know, a basic idea on how to make this. I hope this works out because I've gone off the deep end. The ADHD started and I'm just like, oh, I'm going to try this and I'll be able to do this and it's going to be fine, right? It's going to be, it's going to be totally fine. So I ended up picking the quail cables from the Vogue Knitting Stitch Dictionary, and I really like them. It's similar to the cable pattern that was in the vest originally, where, you know, you've got like these off-centered cables. So I had to do a little bit of math to figure out how I wanted to do the increases to make sure that everything like matched up correctly. So that was a little bit complicated, but not too bad. Whatever. It's really not that crazy. It's a little bit crazy, but it's not that crazy. I've done this kind of stuff before, right? Like, you know, patterns, sometimes it's you follow them to the T, and then sometimes you use them as, you know, inspiration. So that's going to be my, you know, Health Vest inspired vest. And hopefully it will fit my husband just perfectly. Because that's the other thing is he's never had a vest before. He doesn't really like wearing sweaters. He likes the idea of a vest. We've been watching All Creatures Great and Small, and the men on that show all have vests on, and I'm always drooling over those vests and all the other knitwear on that show. And I'm like, that's it. I really would love to knit you a vest. Would you be interested in this? And he's like, you know, yes, actually, that sounds like a great idea. The only worry that I have is you're going to spend all of that time knitting it, and then what if I don't like it? I'm going to feel really bad. And I assured him, and I don't know how you guys feel. Let me know in the comments. How do you feel about when you spend time knitting for somebody and then they don't wear the item? For me, I don't give gifts with strings attached. Like, I know what it's like for somebody to take the time to pick out something for you, spend the money, buy you something, make you something. So I know what it feels like to be given a gift that somebody has put a lot of effort into, and it's maybe just not exactly my taste, right? For me, I give a gift for that person to know, hey, I'm thinking about you. I spent the money, I spent the time, whatever it was, and I wanted to make you happy. And if I give a gift and that person looks happy, they say thank you, and they genuinely like understand, especially when it's something handmade, they genuinely understand like, wow, this was a really, really nice gift. If I get that thanks, that's all I need. I've spent plenty of times knitting myself something that I ended up really not wearing or not liking because it didn't fit right, whatever. And it is what it is. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't expect if I knit somebody something that they are going to just wear it constantly, love it to death. Like, it's just like, even if they don't like it, that they're going to feel like, oh, I need to wear this because it's going to hurt Lauren's feelings. No, don't. Again, this is my opinion, but it's okay. That's life. Like, you don't need to wear anything or use something for my sake. Like, that's okay. So as I told my husband, like, it's fine if I knit this for you and it doesn't fit or you don't like it. Hey, we've learned something. In the meantime, I'm enjoying making this, and if he ends up liking it and wears it a bunch, awesome. Like, super, super bonus, right? So, yeah, so I just decided I'm just going to start the vest. And I've been loving it. I started it, I think, 4 days ago, and I've already gotten this far. This includes a few little mistakes that I've made and had to tink back. But I think I've got it now. It's a really easy cable pattern. It's really not that hard at all. But sometimes you just have to get like the muscle memory going, I guess. So I'll show off my little stitch markers here. This is a little meatloaf. I think I've shown this meatloaf before. I got this from Tiddly Bakes a little while back, a few years ago. And then I have some Highland cows on the top here. Aren't these guys cute? Can I show them to you? They keep twisting. There we go. The last work in progress that I have is a mystery knit along. So if you are doing the secret ingredient mystery knit along with Katie DeGroff, I hope I'm pronouncing that last name correctly, Shelty Pap on Instagram. If you are participating in this mystery knit along and you are not at least halfway done the second clue, then look away, okay? Because I have gotten I'm halfway down the second clue, which basically the first half is going to look the same as the second half. So this will totally be a spoiler. So, you know, look away. I'll tell you again when I stop talking about it. Actually, I'll put a timestamp right here so you know how far you need to fast forward. But this has been such a fun project, and I am very excited to show you. I will show you my yarn first. This is my own yarn. It's part of my winter collection. I still have some of these colors available in my shop right now. So if any of these interest you, like I said, I think I have all of these colors in the shop, or at least there's some in there. And I can always dye up some more too. So, you know, if you want them, let me know. This is Hibernation, which is a navy blue. And it's got some magenta in there. It's not a tonal. It's actually lightly variegated. It's mainly like navy blue and purple. And then there's, like I said, there's a few little spots with a little bit darker magenta in it. It's really pretty. That's my dark color, my main color. And then I have my two contrast colors here. I think this one's contrast color 1 and this one's contrast color 2, or maybe it's like color 1, 2, 3. I forget how it is in the pattern, but this one is wintergreen. Once again, I'm having there we go. Yeah, this is wintergreen, and this is a tonal like wintergreeny teal. Also really pretty. And then of course I have a purple. This one, I believe, is Snow Flurries. You'd think I would know my own colors, but my memory, you know. So this is a nice tonal light purple. And another Midwest Stitches bag. Very pretty. So clue 1 was the same. And then clue 2, you had the option of switching to a shawl-like shawl or a more wrap-like shawl. And I've done tons of triangular shawls over the years. So I decided I was going to try a wrap shape this time. So I guess it's going to be a little bit more rectangular. I don't know the final shape because it's a mystery knit along. So I got the first half, like I said, I got the first half of the second clue done. But you'll be able to see the clue 1 here. I'll show you, maybe I'll hold it up that way. So this was clue 1. And it has this lovely mosaic knitting section right here. I can't really point to it, but right over here kind of almost looks like a plaid in a way. Again, looks really complicated to knit, but like mosaic knitting is so cool because you can really make these really spectacular designs with it's really not that complicated. It's really not. So if you're looking at this and saying, oh my goodness, that's way too hard, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Just follow the directions and you will be fine. So yeah, there's this mosaic knitting section up at the beginning, and then followed by this beautiful cable over here. I just love it. And there's like these nice little like eyelets here on both sides. It's gonna look really nice when it's been blocked. And then, so to make it wrap like, you have to add on one side of the triangle and then on the other side. So that was what I did earlier this week. This here is the first half of clue 2. And then the second half is the same thing, just on the other side. It's really hard to show. But this is just, again, a little bit of mosaic knitting, and then some, almost like a garter stitch. Just, yeah, some little garter stitch ridges in stockinette. I love this so much. I cannot wait to get this done. And I'm just really excited to be doing a different shape than usual. So, oh, it is just, and I'm really liking the colors, like just the way that they're working together. This is such a fun knit. If you haven't started this mystery knit along, I know I've now spoiled it for you, but you totally should go and start it because it has been an absolute blast. And like, I don't know, it's just like there's just so many different things. You don't get bored because it's like, oh, we're gonna do mosaic knitting here, and then we do some cables, and we do this in different colors, and you just like, and you don't know what's next. But looking at the rest of this designer's shawls that she has made, like, she is amazing, and I love every single one of them. So I just know that this is going to come out just great, you know, like, because I did start, and I'm wearing a Stephen West knits shawl right now, and some of his patterns I absolutely love, and then there's others that I just don't see it. He's very artistic. Some people love everything that he does, and he takes chances, and that's wonderful. But there was a mystery knit along that I had started with, like his mystery knit along a couple years back, and I got the first clue done. And then when I saw the second clue, I was like, nope, I'm done. There's no way I'm going to do this. I am not. And even by the end of the design, it was just not something that I would ever wear. So I was a little afraid to start another mystery knit along. But again, this designer, like I said, everything that she's made is just looks wonderful to me. So I am fully confident that this one's going to come out great. And so far, so good. I'm just love it. It's great. So those are all my works in progress. And now I think we'll talk about some yarn that I have recently bought. Not that I need any, but I bought some. I had been doing really, really well for so long and hadn't really bought anything. And then, I don't know, I got this like desire to knit some sweaters. And so I bought a couple sweater quantities. And then I am a sucker for mystery skeins. So we'll start with my mystery skeins that I got. So I think it was on Reddit that I had seen someone who had gotten this haul of mystery yarn from Jimmy Bean's Wool. So I had to go take a peek, and I ended up buying some mystery Madeline Tosh yarn, which I've never used Madeline Tosh before, but like I said, I am a sucker for a mystery. So I figured, what the heck, for a discount, I'll get some mystery yarn. And lucky me, I got some really pretty colors. So the first one, let's see, they're both, twist light. So 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. So these are sock yarns. And I think it looks like it's 2-ply. Let me take a look. Maybe it's 3-ply. 3-ply. So it's a little bit different from my current base. So that's going to be my excuse for why I got it, because mine's 75-25 4-ply. So this is the first one that I got. It's so pretty. Let's see, does it have a name? Peppermint stick. I don't like peppermint sticks. I do not like peppermint, but I love this yarn. It is so pretty. Hot pink. Looks like some navy blue, teal. It's perfect. Totally me. So I think this is probably going to turn into a shawl, or, you know, be used as part of a shawl. And then this is the other one that I got, which is also perfectly, I mean, can you believe it is the same thing? We got purples, teals, my favorite colors. You know, honestly, these two would work together very nicely for a shawl, I think. Maybe I will do that. It's really soft yarn. I do love it. Very squishy. So that was fun. Home run with that. And then I also got this, which was this was fun. So there are these Delicue snap bags at Jimmy Bean's Wool. And not that I really need any more project bags, but this looked really fun because it's bright green. And I've always loved a bright highlighter green since I was like, I don't know, high school. If anybody knew me in high school, you would know that I almost always wore a watch that was exactly this color. I loved it so much. So anyway, I was definitely like, I need to get this bag. Plus, this particular one came with 4 skeins of Malabrigo worsted yarn. Again, mystery yarn. So I got these 4 colorways in here. Aren't they fun? So these are, guys, shh. So these are singles, which I have never used before, and I'm a little bit nervous because in my brain I want, you know, multiple plies, high twist, so we don't have any, you know, felting or other issues. But these are singles in worsted weight, but it says that they're great for sweaters and things. So I'm just gonna have to trust it. Yeah, it's worsted weight. It's so pretty. So soft. 100% wool. I think, is it superwash? No, it just says 100% merino wool, so it's not superwash. It is. I cannot believe how soft merino wool is. So anyway, this is, are these the numbers for like the colors? Yeah, there's no dye lot. I'm trying to find the colorway names. I don't know if there's a name for this. Well, anyway, doesn't look like there is. I feel like there should be, right? There's nothing. Okay, so we got this light pinky purple. We have this variegated orangey purple, and then this beautiful orange, and this is going to make a really nice fade. So these 3 match so wonderfully. And then we've got this like highlighter green that I'm trying to decide if it would work with these 3 or not, because it is like just totally out there, but then maybe it's just crazy enough to work. I don't know. I still don't know what I'm going to knit with this. If anyone has any ideas on what I can do with 4 skeins of worsted weight yarn, let me know, because I was looking on Ravelry. I think these came in yesterday, trying to come up with like some ideas. And aside from like doing 4 different hats, what can I do with this? What can I do with this yarn? I'm a sucker for a mystery, and then I get this yarn and it's like, well, what am I going to do with it? I'm not sure. But it's so pretty, I don't care. We'll add it to the collection. If nothing else, it'll make me happy when I look in my stash. So. And I got a cool bag out of it too. Come on, look at this thing. This is cool. I will never lose this because it is bright neon green. All right, my kids are making a pile of noise, so I really gotta like finish up this video. I'm already at like, getting there. Okay, so I also got some yarn from the Woolly Thistle in Lebanon, New Hampshire. They are a local business to me, and this is the first time I've bought yarn from them. So I got this fun little bag because I ended up getting one of their vanilla sweater kits. Apparently it's one of like their best sellers. And this was the color that I picked for the sweater. And this is a Rauma Garn Finool. And it's all written in, I don't know what language it is, but it's wool, 100% wool, and it's very pretty. And yeah, I'm going to knit the vanilla sweater with it. And actually, sorry about the crinkling, but I think this is just, here's a nice picture. Actually, that color is really pretty. All right, come on. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Yeah, so the kit comes with the little bag that I just showed, and then the yarn. and you can pick, based on what size you're gonna knit. So I have been looking at this kit for like a few years now, and I finally just bit the bullet and I ordered the yarn because I have just been feeling the sweaters lately, and I love purple, so it's gonna make the prettiest little sweater. I also got yarn for the Felix pullover, which is really what started this. So my friend Carlin posted about the Felix pullover that she is currently working on. So it looked really nice on her Instagram. So I took a look at the Ravelry page and love the sweater. And the yarn that it was designed in is lickity-split yarn. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. So I decided I wanted to try knitting it with the yarn designer's yarn. And wouldn't you know, the Woolly Thistle had it, and I figured this would be a great time to order from them. They're local, and I've been wanting to get that vanilla kit as it was. So that's how that all came to be. So this is the lickity-split yarn that I ended up choosing. And it is in the colorway, is it Milky Way, I think? I don't know if it says on here. I really want to say it's Milky Way. But it is this, like, I don't know. If you look closely, there's like some blues and some pinks. And it looks, this actually, oh, this is funny. This is also a single ply. But this is Icelandic wool, and it's quite a bit toothier than the merino. But the description said that it bloomed really nicely. So I'm kind of interested to see what this is going to look like after it blocks. Because right now it's definitely not like it feels more like, when you think wool, this feels like wool, which is fine with me. I actually I kind of like a nice wool sometimes, right? And but if it's gonna be a sweater and I'm gonna wear it, I'm hoping that I can still wear like a short sleeve t-shirt underneath. And if it's too scratchy, that might be a little rough, but whatever. I could just wear a long sleeve t-shirt underneath. But this yarn itself is very pretty, and I am not going to let a little bit of scratchy deter me. I am still confident this is going to be really nice. And I don't know, it's fun too, like to get some Icelandic wool. I've used Peruvian Highland wool a lot, but I don't know, Icelandic wool, it just sounds kind of fun. Yeah. It's very pretty. I really need to get my projects done so I can start some of these new sweater projects here. And this bag, look at how cute this is. The Woolly Thistle. Again, my kiddo, my dearest Abigail, and her love of all things Scottish, we now need to take a trip up to Lebanon to visit the Woolly Thistle because I know that they have a lot of Scottish yarn over there. So one of these days we will get up there. What does this say? Let me read it from here. All knitting is good knitting. Yes, it sure is. All right, so that is all my new yarn. Let's do a quick shop update. I'm going to show you some of the colorways that I currently have. We'll start off with my Valentine's Day collection because Valentine's Day is coming up. This is Be My Valentine. And this is a nice, beautiful red main skein with a couple of contrasting minis. And I also have Romantic Rose, which is my speckly delight. And this one has some beautiful swirls of green in there with some magenta and pinks. And it's got pink, like a lighter pink and a darker pink, contrasting colors. And both of these were designed to go with Leah Gibson's Heart and Soul sock pattern. This pattern was just recently released by Leah, and she actually is knitting up socks in both these colorways. So it was really sweet of her to let me help her out with that. I love the pattern. I haven't had a chance to knit it myself, but it was really exciting to get to dye yarn specifically for this project. So that's exactly where the colors came from. So you can use either one of these sock sets to knit those socks if you're interested. These are currently on sale for 20% off in my shop. And then Leah, I believe, has her new pattern on sale, as well as I think other patterns, for 30% off. So if you want to grab it, I would grab it now because you can get a good discount for all of that. And I do have quite a few of these in my shop still. So if you want to grab them, you probably won't get them until after Valentine's Day, but that's okay. So if you want to get them now at 20% off, this would be the time to do it. I have lots of other colorways, but I just grabbed a couple of them to show. This is a one-of-a-kind colorway called Wild Side. And this just recently went in my shop this week. And it has some oranges and peach colors and red. And this really, really nice mini here with all sorts of different colors. I love an exciting mini. So this is Wild Side. Really pleased with this one. I do have, I think, 1 DK left and 2 fingering weights. This is a one-of-a-kind batch, so I won't be repeating it. So if you want to grab it now. And then I also have a couple of single skeins. A lot of the stuff that I have in my shop are sock sets, so they come with coordinating minis. But I am trying to do a few more like mix and match single skeins for this year. So these are the 2 new ones that I just released. This one is Midnight. It is a tonal navy. And then here we have Spark, which is a very delicately speckled, and then it has a creamy base on the bottom. Like the base is like a creamy beige color, and it has some orange and brown speckles. And actually these 2 go very nicely together. So if you're looking for a 2-color shawl, this would be a great pair. I have a few of these in the shop right now if you want to grab them. And then the other items that I have right now is I ended up buying a bunch of notions to put in the shop. So I got a lot of things from Fox and Pine Stitches, and also from Twice Sheared Sheep. So I'll show you a few of the things that I have. So this is from Twice Sheared Sheep. This is the Work Until measuring tape. And the way this works, you see there's a nice little measuring tape on the bottom here. So there's a stitch marker, and then you put the tape on. And that way, as you're knitting like a sweater, and you say you have to knit until it's 10 inches long, you can use this as your beginning of round marker, and then set it here for however long it needs to be. And that way you can kind of see your progress as you're going along, which is really slick and convenient. So you don't have to worry about, pulling out your tape measure all the time, but it's right here. I also have these knit extension cords. Again, great for sweater knitting. And they come in these nice little tins that you just slide open. And there are 3 different size cords in here. And so you stick these to the ends of your needles, and then you can put all of your working stitches on the cord. And they work wonderfully if you need to try on the sweater as you're knitting it, or if you just have to put some stitches on the side, for the sleeves while you're working on the body of the sweater. I don't have these particular ones. I've been using a different brand, but they all work the same. And they are super convenient. I love them. I do not use like those metal stitch holders anymore. I use my extension cords. So these are really, really handy. I also have, so if you take a peek in the shop, like I said, there's lots of other things there. I also have a whole bunch of stitch stoppers. I showed you my Highland cow earlier. Like I said, I don't have any Highland cows in the shop available right now. I definitely reorder them if anybody needs them. But I have lots of other little cuties. I've got little sheep. And what else do we have here? Oh, some llamas. And there's some like monstera leaves, I believe. And I've got kitties, and I have puppies. And then I also have these little, like, here, I can pull these out. They almost look like, I don't know, Dungeons and Dragons dice. I think that's what they are. I don't know. I honestly, I'm not sure. I never played that game, but I have seen the dice before. But these are, hey, Jeffy. These are made for smaller size needles. Whoop. So if you have sock needles, you can still fit them on here. So they are, I believe they work from US size 0 to US size 10.5. So I have a bunch of these in the shop right now because they have proven to be very popular. So, all right, that is it for right now. So again, you can take a look in the shop and see if there's any notions and other goodies that you might be interested in getting. I keep them all in my Notion Nook from Fox and Pine Stitches. I actually have a few of these in my shop right now too, and I have stuffed each one of my Notion Nooks with a prize. So if you order one of these, I think I have probably good like 10 or 15, and you want a little mystery surprise, grab one from my shop now. These Notion Nooks are magnetic and they open up, and each of these little compartments have doors of their own where you can keep all of your stuff. So this is keeping me organized, which is very nice. Let's see, here are my knit extension cords that I have. And they are super handy. I love them. This is definitely my favorite new item and highly recommend. So I think that is all that I have to talk about right now. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. And I will hopefully be back with another podcast sometime in the near future. In the meantime, though, please enjoy my dyeing videos that I have been putting up at least a few times every month. I hope you're enjoying those. They've been a lot of fun to make to show you the process of yarn dyeing. So I hope you have a great day and enjoy your knitting and crocheting and other projects that you're working on. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.